All right, pull up a chair, grab your coffee, because you are not going to believe the story I have for you. It's one of those tales that's so absurd, so utterly bonkers, that if it weren't my life, I'd assume it was a badly written TV show. But nope, this is real. This is suburban America at its finest and its absolute worst. You know, I used to think I lived in a quiet, respectable neighborhood, white picket fences, neighborly waves, that kind of thing. It was a Saturday just like any other. Perfect blue sky grocery run at Walmart. One of those where you blow half your paycheck, but hey, you won't be starving for a month. I rolled my SUV into the driveway, popped the trunk, and went into autopilot mode, cold stuff first. Bring in the milk eggs, frozen pizzas for the kids, that fancy cheese my wife loves but pretends is for the kids' lunches. I was gone all of 90 seconds. When I came back out, I expected nothing. Maybe a breeze, maybe a squirrel on the fence. Instead, I see the president of our HOA. Let's call her Karen, because honestly, what else could she be crouched in my open trunk, loading up my groceries into her own tote like she was picking up her order at Target? I stood there just frozen. The woman from all those passive-aggressive newsletters, the one who scowls at me when I mow the lawn, the wrong direction. She's just out here in broad daylight stealing my steak, my organic chicken, the cheese. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating. I cleared my throat, trying not to let my cop voice come out too strong. "Excuse me," I say. She jumps like I've electrocuted her, drops a carton of my kids' yogurt all over the driveway, then fixes me with this look, a sneer that could curdle milk. She straightens her leather jacket, points a bony finger at me, and shrieks, "Don't you dare use that tone with me." This is an HOA-sanctioned requisition of goods. Your kind doesn't pay enough dues to deserve groceries like this anyway. My kind. Not even subtle. Just ugly out in the open, stinking up the day. I felt the slap of it, pure, unvarnished racism, so thick you could taste it. And she actually went back for more, started grabbing the snacks I'd bought for my kids' lunches, justifying it with this mess about maintaining economic harmony and redistributing resources. You ever been so angry, all you can do is laugh? That was me, teetering on the edge of hysteria. She was quoting made-up bylaws like this was some post-apocalyptic HOA Hunger Games. I took a breath, fighting down the urge to lose it. "Ma'am, put my groceries back and we'll forget this ever happened." I gave her a chance, a golden off-ramp. Did she take it? Of course not. She pulls out her phone, says, "I'm the one being threatened here and I know what to do when your kind gets aggressive." Then she calls 911 in my driveway while she's stealing my food. Now, let me just paint this for you. I'm a big black guy. Off-duty cop, sure, but standing there in a t-shirt and jeans, I know how this plays out. I watched her put on an Oscar-worthy performance for the dispatcher, voice quivering, tears in her eyes. There's a large, aggressive man threatening me. Please hurry. The injustice, the danger, the sheer audacity of it all knotted in my gut. I didn't argue, didn't move. I just started recording my phone, up camera, pointed her sobbing and stealing and spinning her story. The neighbors started peeking out their windows. Mrs. Gable across the street behind her blinds the kid next door standing stock still on his bike. Sirens in the distance. The seconds stretched like hours. When the patrol car finally rolled up, lights splashing my house with blue and red, it felt like time was standing still. Two cops. One young, fresh-faced, eager to prove himself, Miller. His partner, Davis, older eyes tired, maybe seen too much. Karen runs to them, clutching her tote like it's evidence of her sainthood, spinning her fairy tale about being cornered. Miller buys it immediately. Davis just hangs back, scanning me, eyes hard and unreadable. When Davis finally asks for my side, it's a formality. "Keep it short," he says, "like my existence is an inconvenience." I lay it out, groceries, trunk theft, video evidence. "She's stealing your groceries," he repeats, as if it's the most unbelievable thing he's heard. Before I can answer, Karen pipes up about my mailbox being the wrong color. Mailbox. Standard black like every other house. The tension ratchets up a notch when Davis asks for my ID, his hand casually drifting near his weapon. I move slow, keep my hands visible, hand him my wallet. Then I decide to flip the script. Officer, I'm with Metro Homicide. He freezes, flips through my card, sees my badge. Suddenly the air shifts. Miller stops taking notes. Karen goes pale. The cop-to-cop code for better or worse slides into place. Now, I'm not just some angry guy in a driveway, I'm one of them. Davis's tone changes. You're with Metro Homicide Division. I nod. Suddenly, everybody's recalibrating. Even Karen is speechless for once. I seize the moment, lay out my evidence, make it clear: theft, false report, racism. It's all on video. I want to press charges. When I mention my Ring doorbell footage, you'd think I'd summoned the Grim Reaper. Karen's face crumples. The sergeant shows up, Walsh, all authority and no patience. He takes statements, eyes hard as granite. Karen tries to wriggle out, stammering about misunderstandings and confusing bylaws. No dice. Walsh asks her point blank if she took my groceries. She tries to bluster, but he cuts her off and tells Miller to cuff her. For a split second, you could hear a pin drop. The president of the HOA, the neighborhood tyrant, in handcuffs on my driveway. Then comes Bill, her flunky from 2 doors down, spouting off about fake bylaws and resource parity. He actually tries to defend community redistribution of groceries like this was socialism for Lunchables. But that's when Sarah, my quiet neighbor, steps in. She walks up, voice steady, and says, "That's a load of hogwash, Bill. There is no such bylaw. You two have been targeting Anthony since day one." My security camera saw it all. Suddenly, I'm not alone. The crowd grows. The neighborhood splits open, old guard cronies on one side, decent folks like Sarah on the other. Cops gather statements. Sarah's video, my doorbell, my phone, it all stacks up. Karen is led to the squad car. Bill's bluster evaporates, and the sergeant makes it clear: fake rules, conspiracy, this could go deeper. I feel the adrenaline drain out of me, replaced by a cold resolve. The war is just beginning. Back inside, I dig out the thick folder of HOA violation notices. Looking at them, it's clear this wasn't random. The grass height complaint, the mailbox sheen, the timing of my trash cans, all signed by Karen, all designed to wear me down. Sarah confirms that she's never gotten a notice in 15 years. Karen's problem wasn't my lawn, it was my family's skin color. When petty fines didn't make us leave, she escalated. This wasn't about groceries. This was about putting me in my place. That night, I talk it all through with my wife. She's a nurse, practical, unflappable until now. She watches the videos, sees what almost happened, and says, "We have to fight. This isn't just groceries. This could have gotten you killed." She's right. And the next morning, we start calling lawyers. But these people don't stop. 2 days later, Karen's son, a walking stereotype in a tap-out shirt, bangs on my door, demands I drop the charges, threatens my family. All of it is caught on camera. When I confront him, he backs down fast, but that's it for me. No more playing defense. I march straight to internal affairs, lay it all out. Karen's theft, racism, the son's threat, the officer's bias, everything. They open an inquiry, and my lawyer starts building a civil case. Then comes the $500 fine from the HOA for creating a public disturbance. It's breathtaking, the gall of it. They're trying to punish me for being the victim. My lawyer nearly cackles with joy. They're building your case for you. Sarah is fined for her camera and for interfering in an HOA check. Witness intimidation, plain and simple. But now the local news is on it. I do an interview, keep my family out of it. And when the footage airs, the neighborhood explodes. People who'd never dared to speak up start sharing their own stories. This isn't just my fight anymore. Karen tries her own interview, spins her web of lies, cries crocodile tears about being afraid of large, angry men. It backfires spectacularly. The public, my department, even the chief, everyone sees the truth. We file a lawsuit, civil rights violations, defamation, harassment, you name it. The old board is sued. The insurance company starts sweating, and the DA piles on with hate crime charges after new victims come forward. Depositions are brutal. Karen and Bill are forced to admit their fake bylaw was never ratified. Texts surface showing Karen orchestrated the son's threats. It's all unraveling. The community holds a meeting-packed room, angry residents' tears, and finally a vote. The old board is out. Sarah is elected president. The bogus fines are dropped. A formal apology is issued, and the HOA agrees to cooperate in every way. It feels like the air is clearing, like sunlight after a storm. But I need justice on every front. Internal Affairs finds the responding officers at fault for bias. One is sent back for training. The other is suspended, and my case becomes a department-wide example. Miller the rookie even calls to apologize. It's not perfect, but it's something. Karen's trial is open and shut, video, audio, text, evidence, neighbor testimony. She's found guilty of theft, false reporting, perjury, conspiracy, and hate crime. Her son is found guilty of threats and conspiracy. Probation Community Service finds they're barred from any HOA leadership ever again. The civil suit ends in a slam-dunk settlement. The HOA is put under outside management, bylaws are rewritten, anti-discrimination clauses are enforced, and the worst offenders, Bill, Karen, move away, their houses sold to families who actually want to live in a decent community. Now, when I pull in my driveway, it's different. My wife and I can sit on the porch, my kids play in the yard, and block parties pop up every other month. The neighborhood is better, stronger, more honest, finally free of that old poison. If there's anything I learned, it's this. People like Karen exist everywhere. But so do people like Sarah. So does justice if you fight for it. And as I unload my groceries these days, I do it with my head high. This is my home and I'm not going anywhere. So let me ask you, what would you have done in my shoes? Where do you draw the line between keeping the peace and standing your ground? Drop your thoughts below, because I know every one of us has a story about fighting for what's right, sometimes right in our own backyard.